Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Empower for You. You know, for the last few weeks, maybe month or so, I have been dealing with my emotions. I remember way back in 2005, I believe it was, that I had someone to say something so devastating to me that it put me in a place of dissociation. You know, when you go through so much hurt, so much pain, circumstances, trials, tribulations, just life in general. When you go through a lot, it takes a toll on your mental health. And at this time in my life, I had about this much left in my heart. This much. And when this person said what they said to me, I felt that place. It just drew up. And it felt like I had literally had a massive stroke in my spirit. I didn't feel anything. My mind and my emotions said enough. Enough. That we can't take anymore. And we won't. And in order for us to get through this season, we're just gonna be on the down low. And can you imagine going through your life, going about on things that you know are funny, and you know it is proper to laugh because something is funny, but you don't feel the humor inside. To be 38 hot, mad, just mad, just raving mad, and not feel any of that anger. To be around people you know and love that you've known for years and not to feel them. You see them, you know them, but you're just so detached emotionally that you actually don't realize who they are. However, regardless as to what the doctor said, that dissociation has no cure, there is no cure for dissociation. What do they know anyway? They don't know everything. But I sit here before you today saying that season of dissociation is now over. And I'm in a whole nother place, mentally, physically, and spiritually. I call it the place called there. You remember we were always told, oh, you think you done arrived. You got two nickels to rub together, or you moved to a new place, or you got a new job, new car, whatever. Oh, you done arrived. Well, guess what? I have arrived. I'm in the place called there. In the place called there, nothing matters in the place called there. Just this week, lost a vehicle this week, had 2 other bill collectors talk to me ugly. But you know what? It don't even bother me, y'all. It really doesn't. That's when you know you're in that place called there. When there is no worry and no concern. The scripture even talks about this. That the lilies of the field, they don't toil, they just be. Because they already know their role. They know their worth, they know their beauty, and they know their purpose. Not so necessarily a lot of times for us, but in time, we make it there. Now, I literally, over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think it has been, you know how you feel like something is just wrong. You know, you can't put your finger on it, but just something is just wrong. And my emotions were all over the place. And I'm like, what in the world is this? And little did I know that that was the universe breaking that ice from around my heart, from around my emotions, in order for me to feel again, in order for me to laugh again, in order for me to be genuinely happy again. Why? Why, you say? Many times when we reach that place of there, that's the end of a chapter and probably the beginning of another. With me, the place called there is when you can stand on your own 2 feet, look your troubles in the face and say, I don't care no more. Do your worst. Because I promise you, provision has already been made for me. And I can't dwell on things that I have no control over. That's the place called there. You don't care how nobody sees you. You don't care what people think about you. You don't care. The place called there. If you've noticed, I've changed my name back. I'm back to good old Gail, like everybody remembers. And if you've noticed, I don't have any makeup on today. And I don't think I'm going to wear any anymore for a vid, because that's not me. This is me. When most people see me, this is what they see. This is what they expect. This is what they are used to. So why would I get in front of the camera and have to put makeup on to address my friends and family? When friends and family come over to the house, I don't jump up and make my face up. So why should I do it for friends and family here? It's time to be real. It's time to be real with ourselves. Because now we're walking into a whole new chapter, a whole new age. There's no more play in this. This is not a time to play. This is a time for work. Again, This is the time now that you were born for. This is the time now for you to take the reins of the kingdom that you have been assigned to. The people that you have been assigned to. The tasks that you have been assigned to. Remember we talked about Elisha's mantle? How he took that mantle off and he slapped the water and he walked across on dry land. Then Christ said, greater things that you will do in my name. Is that not what he said? Where's your greater? I am challenging you today. Where is your greater? Are you willing to use your greater? Are you willing to submit to your greater? Are you willing to step out of that comfort zone that you have been in for so long? That place that you're used to, you know, every nook, cranny, every piece of crabgrass, every mud hole, and just every secret place and wherever, you know it like the back of your hand. Are you willing to leave that? That's what Abraham had to do. He was told, get up and start walking. But where am I going? Get up and start walking. And by faith, what did he do? He got up and he started walking. The destination was already set. He just had to be what? Again, willing and obedient to just get up and start walking. The place called there. We spend so much time trying to fight our battles. Battles that we don't understand, battles that we don't know why. Those things are not for us to fight. That's not our job. Our job, we have two things to do. Two. And everything else will fall in line. To forgive and to believe. Think about it. When I sat down in this chair, I just sat down. I didn't think about, was this chair going to hold me? Was this chair going to collapse to the floor? Do you see what I'm saying? When I go outside and I start my vehicle, I don't take account to anything. I go out there, stick the key in and start and I go. So why can't we have that type of faith in ourselves? And why we're here? The place called there. When you come to that place, of the place called there, nothing matters. Nothing matters. And when you know that you actually know when you've reached full maturity, when everything around you seems to be falling apart. And when I tell you just chaos everywhere. And sure, that human side of you is going to cry out like, what in the world is going on? I can't figure this out. It's not for you to figure it out. It's for you to keep walking. Keep walking. Sure, we're going to sit down. We're going to fall down. We might even fall out. But we have to keep going to reach the place called there. And it was so funny because when my emotions cut back on and I could genuinely feel in here, I felt the love I had for my friends and family. I felt it, and it brought me to tears, y'all. To be able to feel that type of agape love for another human being, it will bring you to tears. Not to be angry about anything, not to be worried about anything. To be in a place of total peace with yourself and the world, irregardless as to how it looks. Remember the setup? Remember that? You remember we talked about the setup. We're still in the season of the setup. And we're still in the season of the setup because, there are other forces wanting us to go back, trying to push us back, trying to set us back from walking into our promise, that land called there. The scripture talks about the land of milk and honey. I don't know how that works, because I don't think nobody eats milk and honey together. I don't. But in that rich place, that rich season, that prosperous place where there is no worry, there is no lack, there's no doubt. Every single need is met. And probably all of your wants as well. We talked about how the heavens are going to open up and pour us out a blessing that we won't be able to receive. When you get to places like that, you can't receive it. You got to give it away. Some of it has to be given away, because if it doesn't, it's going to sit there and it's going to rot. You can't have all of that. You can't handle all of that. So why not choose to bless someone else out of your bounty? Why not? You've blessed people out of your lack. You remember that? When you have lent money to people, you weren't going to get that money back. But you did it. Some of them you never gonna get no money back from them. But you did it. Out of the goodness of your heart. Out of you being a human being looking out for another human being, even though you already know that they had an agenda, it was a setup, and they know you're a sucker. So they came to you. Can I get that from you? I'm going to pay you back on payday. Hey, I got you, when I get my income tax. Then when you crack them about it, well, what had happened was, see, you don't need that right now, do you? Because, I'm sort of short right now. Wait a minute, don't you owe me some money and now you going to turn around and ask me for something? Are you crazy? And you know why I gave you that scenario? Because they're going to get even worse when you walk into your promise. People can see prosperity on you. They see the hand of the Creator on your life, the light that shines from you. When you even walk into a room, the room automatically commands towards you. When you walk into a room, the atmosphere in that room, it shifts like it's been kicked up. So like now, you can't be down here, or better yet, way down there. You got to come up. You got to come up now. You got to come up to another level. To another level of thinking. To another level of believing. That's the road to the place called there. And I'm so thankful. I'm thankful for the things that I have been through. Didn't like them, but I'm thankful. And I believe that it made me a better person. I'm not hateful and bitter and as I could be, as I should be. Because some things that have been said and done to you and I, you know, those things are unforgivable. We weren't supposed to forgive nobody for that. But where is the example in that? Where is the higher call in that? The scripture even tells us that if we feed or clothe our enemy and we bless them, that heaps coals of fire on their head. They go from standing in our face to being on their knees, groveling around, shoving around our footstool. Can you sit that right there for me, please? Thank you. Can you take my shoes off, please? Thank you. That's when that role flips. You know, how the first shall be last and the last shall be first, and, you know, above only. And if you don't ever remember anything I say, always remember you are always above only. Always. You're beneath no one. Ever. It doesn't make a difference if you don't have nothing but dust in your pocket, no car, no job, no nothing, nobody on your side. Above only and never beneath. Ever. Because we come from the same source. Everybody's life path is different. Everybody chooses a different path. And we don't know. We don't know what their life path is, but we as human beings, we do tend to judge people by what we think we see and know about them. All of us have been judged, and we've judged other people. It's a common thing. Is it right? No. But we do it. But when we come out of that place of judgment and we start accepting people for who they are and not what we expect them to be, yeah, that's that place called there. Is because now we're respecting the uniqueness of that other human being. You never know. Somebody that you'll see on the side of the road or in passing or something like that who may not be as well kept as you will come to you and give you a word that will literally change your life if you'll accept it. If you even want to hear it. Do you know who the most profound words come from? People like that and children. Yeah. Children. We're so busy telling them, shut up, sit down, shut up, don't talk. Children can come out with some of the most profound messages for us if we will listen. And that Ned the wino and Roscoe type person that we see every day, we don't know who that person really is. We don't know what they know. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know their story. It says to be careful how you treat people, because you might entertain an angel unaware. You never know who that person is for you. Do you know how many times I've come across people and they have poured things into my life and told me different things, and that person disappears, never to be seen again, never heard from again. The place called there. The place called there. In that place, you're free to be yourself. You don't have to fake. You don't have to be a phony. You don't have to put on. You are free to be you. Irregardless as to what anybody thinks, anybody says, or how anybody feels. The only thing that matters is how do you feel about yourself? Are you good with you? Are you good? Or do you still have some work to do? Because if you still have work to do, admit that I still got work to do. I'm not there yet. I'm making it. I'm making progress. I may not be as far along as you, Gail. I may not be as far along as you, sister. But I'm coming. Can you pray my strength? And sometimes I might fall down. Can you come get me and help me up? Give me a drink of water and tell me that it's going to be okay. And come on. That's our job. That is our job, to be helpers to one another, to help bear each other's burdens. I had a friend of mine actually tell me what that was about, what a burden was. And he was telling me that in Jewish culture, nomadic people tend to carry everything that they had on their back. Their whole house, their whole being was on their back. And sometimes it got heavy. And sometimes other people had to help share their burden when they got weary, when they got tired, when it was too heavy on them. Then somebody else would carry that burden a while for them, to carry another's burden. It's a load. And a lot of us, we're so heavy with the cares of the world, of family, of life, job, finances. And we don't have time to go to the place called there. We don't have time because we're so preoccupied with all of this other. We're so worried about all of these other different things. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to have this amount of money. I got to go here. I got to have this. My children need this. My so-and-so need this and this and this and this and this. But didn't the scripture say that I shall supply all your needs according to my riches and glory? That is in the book, right? That's the book, right? So if that's in your training, then what? You're going to buck against your training? Is that what you're telling me? You don't believe your training. You doubt your training. That's what you're telling me? Because that's what worry is about. That means that you're bucking against your training. You've gotten to a place now where you believe that you have to carry everything. That if you're not carrying these things, and nothing's going to happen, and all these other different types of things, and things are going to fall apart. Yeah, they are. They are. Just like right now, in my life, there's a few things that fell apart. But what am I doing? I'm sitting here encouraging you because I'm there. I'm there, y'all. I have to believe that everything is okay and everything is going to be all right with me. That provision has already been made. I just have to believe that. I can't sit here and say, woe is me. I don't have this. I don't have that. Woe is me. There's no room for woe in the place called there. In the place called there, there's only room for go. Get up and go. Move forward. Stand up and take your place. Be who you have been anointed and appointed to be in this time. Be that. Dare to be that. Dare to go to the place called there. I dare you to come to the place called there. Because in that place, none of these other cares matter. That means now I have put myself in the hands of my Maker. That I have to believe that every crooked place before me, it's got to be made straight. That every person that has mistreated me, it's not my job. Not my job to worry about that. It's not my job to avenge myself or revenge myself. That's not my job. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but karma is real. And she'll find you. Sometimes it takes her a while. She's sort of kind to some people, and they take advantage of her kindness too. Thinking that, oh, I've gotten over, I'm good. But the longer it takes, most times, for karma to make up her mind to take action against you, you don't want the result. So it's best to try to treat people right from the start, from the beginning. Treat people as you would want somebody to treat you. You wouldn't want nobody lying to you. You wouldn't want anybody mistreating you. You wouldn't want anybody calling you names and cursing you out and slandering you and backstabbing you and stealing from you and raping you. That's not what you want for yourself. You don't want that for your sons, for your daughters, for your nephews, your nieces, your sisters, your brothers, your mothers, your fathers, your friends. I don't think any of us want that for anybody that we love. So I challenge you today. Let's go to the place called there. Let's take off this worldly costume. Let's take it off so we can breathe. So we can breathe the fresh air and enjoy it. That we can see life as it is, not through rose-colored glasses of being in denial. To finally enjoy life. Many of us haven't enjoyed our life. I know I haven't. Because I was so busy and consumed with existing, I forgot to live. I forgot. I was so busy just existing. I never took the time to live. But now that I'm there, it's time to live now. There's no room to exist anymore, to only exist. You know, to exist is a mundane thing. You just go through. It's a ritual. To exist is a ritual. You do the same thing every day. You go to the same place and work. You go to the same gas station. You go to the same place and get your breakfast and your coffee. You go to the same place for lunch most times, or the same few. You go to the same Walmart. You go to the same Target. You go to the same mall. You go to the same place. You take the same route to work. You take the same route back home. You take the same route to church and back home. All these different things are part of your existence. But you start living when you start breaking those cycles. When you learn to break those cycles, to break those mindsets, to break those ways of doing things, to break traditions, and decide to take the higher road, to do things differently. To, yes, be selfish. Do something for yourself instead of always being in a place of doing something for others. Be selfish. It's your right. You've earned it. Some of us don't know how to be alone. We don't. Some of us, we just have to have somebody attached to us in some type of way. That's called codependency, whether you know it or not. And you just have to, you're so afraid of being alone that you know your existence is just mortally flawed if you're by yourself. That's not true. I was taught that lesson a long time ago. I talked about it in my first book. How I wanted to go out and eat at this particular restaurant, and I called everybody and nobody answered the phone. No one. Then the creator said, so what you gonna do now? You still hungry? I'm like, yeah, I'm still hungry. Well, get up and go get something to eat. What you sitting there for? You have transportation and you have money. What's the problem? I'm like, whoa. So I got up, went to the restaurant. Now, you know, if you're from Bessemer, Alabama, you're going to see somebody that you know. So when I arrived at the Ruby Tuesday, I saw absolutely no one I knew. The lady came to me. She says, how many in your party? I told her, one. She said, oh, okay. She sat me. Got up, went to the salad bar to fix my salad and, ordered and, sat down, started in on the salad, and I was like, oh, this is good. And it was the wildest thing. It was like the creator comes and sits down in the booth across from me, the little little booths. So, does that taste any different with nobody not being here? No, it doesn't. So how do you feel that no one is here? Is the food going to be any different? The location going to be any different? The atmosphere, the experience, is it going to be any different because you're by yourself? And that's what some of us need to do. We need to learn to stand alone. When you are a chosen one, everybody can't go with you. Everybody can't go to the places that you go. because that's not their anointing. That's not their place. And sometimes we have to be alone in order to hear what the Spirit says. If you got all of these people in your face all the time, yep, and you're always engaged in something, when are you going to have time to get a download? You know when the Creator used to catch me? In the bathroom and when I'm asleep. Go in the restroom, take a bath. Right when you get settled and your body adjusts to the temperature of the water and you're sitting there and you're enjoying your bath. Okay, let's talk. Like, really? But it's my quiet time. It's bath time. Yeah, I know. And now that I have your fully undivided attention, we're going to talk. Or get woke up out your sleep 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to talk to you, but I'm asleep. Okay. I still want to talk to you and we're going to talk. Do you see what I'm saying? You inconvenience the Creator, you inconvenience the ancestors and the Spirit. Guess what? They're going to inconvenience you. Because if you don't make quiet time for yourself, they'll help you. The place called there. In the place called there, we learn how to make time for ourselves. Things that make ourselves better. Just to be quiet. Just to not do anything. Or to enjoy a hobby. Take yourself to a movie, even though now in COVID that's a little impossible. Take yourself to dinner. Do something for yourself. Because this life, it's about you. It's about you. How in the world can you tell somebody what it's like to enjoy life if you're not enjoying yours? You can't even go get a hamburger by yourself. You got to get on the phone and call up, hey, I'm going to so-and-so, you want to go? I'm going to so-and-so, you want to go? Hey, I'm going to the mall, can you meet me? That's not there. That ain't even on the way to there. You still on the road trying to get to the exit to get off to there. About 100 miles out. The place called there. It's what many of us strive for. Many of us don't even know what it is because we're too busy existing. But when you make up your mind to be in that place of trust, that you're going to trust the Creator and you're going to trust your life journey, that provision has already been made, that everything has already been lined up. All you got to do is walk in it. That's when you have arrived. And that's when you have arrived to the place called there. There's no need to worry. There's no need to fret. Just take the first step. Don't look back and just keep walking. The hardest part of a journey is the first step. When are you going to step off and move forward towards your true destination? Again, I'm here to strengthen your heart, encourage your spirit, and to just empower you to be the best you know you can be, that I know you can be. I'm proud of you. I love you, and I want the best for you. And it's on its way. Believe that. Have a good one.